Hello, we are live. I think. Maybe. Did everybody get the memo to wear peasant tops today?
I guess so. Great minds alike.
All right, so I'm sorry. First off, I'm going to apologize. I have 2 flies from hell in my house right now, and I will be distracted by them throughout the night. Also, hello and welcome to everybody to our, well, this is technically our June movie discussion that we are disguising as our July movie discussion. Yeah, just to keep everybody on their toes. So with me, as always, is our gorgeous ladies. We have Jael looking Bardot fabulous today from Modern Retro Gal.
Hi. While you were like introducing me, so pay attention.
Oh my God, it's going to be a good night. You guys, you have no idea. Oh, the 3 of us have needed this night for probably about 2 months now. And then the always lovely Heather from How to Be Fancy.
Hey guys.
And I, of course, am your always professional, always put together host of Vintage Classy Chicks Vintage Flicks, and tonight we are talking about that 1959 movie Gidget, that classic summer bash. And yeah, I'm gonna let Heather and Jael take it away because they did our research tonight. Oh, but before we do that, yeah, because again, always professional. Let's welcome everybody who is in the chats. We have Catherine is here. Hello, hello. We have Mary Heron. Gloria loves crafts. Catherine's first time watching this live. Mary from Vintage Camper Girl, Wisconsin is here, and Celiac Kitten is here as well. So hello, ladies. Welcome.
Yay. Hey guys.
Catherine says, Heather, she loves your hair. It reminds her of Rainbow Dash.
Thank you.
Excellent, Con. Oh, and we have, I'm going to mispronounce this, so I apologize in advance, but Smiju? S-M-I-J-U. Smiju? I don't know, but it's fun to say it that way. So if that's not the way it's pronounced, I would rethink the way you're pronouncing your name. Smiju? All right. Away found on Gidget.
Sorry, you went away for a second and I wasn't sure. Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Heather can't do it by herself.
Here, I have notes. I don't know if I can read them. I thought, here's the funny fact. I thought I had watched this movie like really recently for a video that I had just done. And so I was like, oh, you know, like I'm cool. I can just watch some clips. And then I started watching clips and I thought, yeah, I haven't seen this in like years. I don't know what I thought I'd watch. Like, oh, quick, I've got to watch this fast. I mean, I've seen it before, but it was like one of those, oh, wait, this is a whole different storyline. I think it was the Hawaii one that I was thinking in my brain and not the original, which I should, anyway. So Gidget, the original with Sandra Dee. 1959, Sandra Dee, James Darren, Cliff Robertson, a lot of really fun cast, I think, in this particular Gidget. Fun facts about this. There's quite a few. I'm going to say a few. Jael, did you find your notes? Do you have your notes?
I just have it up on the computer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'll just do a couple and then you can do a couple. We were trying to figure out how to do this. So a couple things I thought were kind of fun. This particular film is based on a novel by Frederick Kohner. I don't actually know if that's how to say his last name. That's what I'm calling him. But Gidget is based on his daughter in real life, and her name was Kathy. So I think that's kind of fun that the movie and the book are all tied into someone's actual daughter who loved like the surf culture, grew up in Malibu, kind of that area. So I think it's cool that it's actually based on a real tomboy. Let's see, Sandra Dee, this is really random, but she was the very last of the actors and actresses of old Hollywood to have an exclusive contract with a production house or like a movie studio. So she was the very last out of every Hollywood actor to ever have an exclusive contract where she only made movies for Columbia, which I thought was kind of interesting that that went all the way through to that late, I guess in the 50s. I feel like that's the very 1940s thing. Was kind of cool. On this particular film, James Darren, who plays Moondoggy, he had never really done a film like this, and so in order to get cast in the role, he wrote a song and made it, like, sent it out. It charted, and that is how he like showed the director and producers and writers that he could actually sing, and he is actually singing in this film. Doesn't particularly match his mouth when he sings, but he is really singing. Let's see, and he was also the only actor to play the same role in all 3 of the Gidget movies. Everybody else, the cast completely changed from movie to movie, but he was the one who stayed the same throughout all of them. Let's see, another fun thing, and I'll actually link this in our group, is that the stunt double for Gidget was a champion female surfer. She was born in 1944. Her name is Linda Benson, and she was one of the first females to surf in certain parts of Hawaii before men had only been brave enough to do it. And she was like, there's no difference. I can do this too. So she won all kinds of crazy championships. She was a stunt double. She was also the daughter of a Tommy Dorsey drummer. So kind of a fun thing there. And she's actually still alive. And I just watched and read an interview with her, and she is a really, really cool lady. So I'll leave the link to the article that I found about her in our group if you want to read it, because she just seemed like a really cool person. And it's just fun that she was the stunt double for Gidget in this. So those are kind of fun things. Anything, JL?
Yeah, so this, out of all the Gidget movies, is my favorite because I feel like Sandra is Gidget, and there were a couple of other actresses that they pulled in the subsequent follow-ups, but for me, Sandra Dee will always be Gidget. One thing that happened during the process of casting Moondoggy is that they originally wanted Elvis to be Moondoggy, which would have made this an entirely different movie, I feel like. I feel like it probably would have been pulled and centered around Moondoggy had Elvis played him rather than the focus staying on Gidget. He was too expensive at the time, so that's why it was not an Elvis movie after all. Another funny thing that happens during the movie is that, where is it? There is a scene when Gidget's mother and father are waiting for her to get home, and the mom says, "Who did you expect? Kim Novak?" And the kind of, I think probably the reason why they sort of threw that in there is that the character that plays her father played Howard Bevins in Picnic, starring Kim Novak. So it's kind of like a funny little throwing that in there under the fly. So unless you had seen those movies, you wouldn't really know that. And then what else did I see that was funny? I can't find it now. But basically, so Cliff Robertson. So most of the male characters are shirtless and bronzed in quite a bit of this. But Cliff Robertson in particular, shirt sweaty bronzed moments, basically, his entire wardrobe through the movie, and has basically been kind of dubbed the best beefcake of like that time period of surf movies.
Such a good word.
Bronzed, shirtless, male actor that time. So, yeah. This is a fairly, like, you know, drama-free movie.
It is what it is.
Sorry, I'm getting sucked into the comments. Oh, God. I feel like I'm living in an Amityville horror house right now. The flies are so big.
Wrong movie, then.
Yeah. We were talking in the movie about Bobby Darin. Mary's saying that James Darin is Bobby Darin's younger brother, which I'm not sure about. I do know that Sandra Dee did marry Bobby Darin, the singer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if they're related. So we were discussing that. We have a couple new timers, and we have somebody who's staying up. Louisa is staying up super late. She's in England.
Oh,
So hello, Louisa. We also had oh, and by the way, Smeeju says I am pronouncing her name right. Denise Marie is here. Len Bernert is here, and I sorry, Len, I screwed that up, but you know, that's what I do. Megan R and Gloria loves. Oh, we already said hi to Gloria, but here's another hello, Gloria. Hi, thanks for coming. And yeah, it's 3 a.m. Louisa says it's 3 a.m. It's crazy. Here's the thing: is we're gonna go round robin around the room and see what everybody thought of the film. And you guys in the comment section, let us know what you guys thought of the film, whether if you've seen it, whether it was recently or not. And I'll go ahead and start us off. I love this movie. It is one of my hands down all-time favorite movies. It is, to me, it is the epitome, the perfection of teenage beach movie. And it holds up. To me, it holds up so incredibly well. Everything that happens in this film can be applied to today. I mean, I feel like, yeah, if you look at it in like a, you know, kaleidoscope, like, oh, everything was glossed over kind of thing. Or I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like it was a more polite version, but I don't think it is. I felt like it dealt with some really heavy issues of, you know, someone coming back from the war and trying to reacclimate to society. In Kahuna's character, you have Moondoggy, who is struggling with becoming his own person outside of his family. You have Sandra Dee. Oh my God, Gidget, what an amazing character. I mean, to me, she's like an Anne of Green Gables. This girl who is not going to compromise who she is and also is going to do and follow her own drummer, but is also starting to, like, you know, bloom into adulthood and is like, what are all these feelings? And what 16-year-old didn't do something stupid like try to make the boy you like jealous and then get yourself in a situation? I loved her parents in this film. They, to me, absolutely acted in the way that parents should, of like, hey, that's not right, and going after their kid, and their little fight in the kitchen. And of course, Moondoggy would be the one that was paid to come take her on her date. I freaking love this movie so hard. It is hands down. Okay, yeah. All right. Love it. I love it. So,
wait, did you like it?
No, I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I just loved it. I loved it real, real hard. Basically, there will be fleas if anybody says anything horrible about this movie. No, there'll be flies. There'll be large flies. All right. Since I feel like it's almost appropriate, I'm gonna leave jail for last because she is our resident California gal living on the coast, and I think she is our Gidget. So I'm gonna go to Heather and leave our girl midget for last.
Yeah. Sandra Dee in this role to me is everything that Gidget ever should have been, and I feel like there should have never been anything except for Sandra Dee as Gidget, because she's just the perfect balance of that tomboy meets girl coming of age meets kind of like doing her own thing, but also trying to please her parents and please her friends, like her little girl group. I love the scenes with all of the girls and how she handles those situations and those interactions. I love how she stands up for herself kind of in those moments and doesn't just follow the crowd, and she just does her own thing. And I really, really appreciate that about this. And it's not in a way that's overly, it's a beach movie, but it's not this overly sappy, cheesy storyline that you could plop any characters into and it wouldn't matter. Like, there's actually a good story, and I think that's what makes it like so special. I think out of all of the plethora of, you know, Anne Margaret and Elvis and Frankie and yeah, like out of all of those movies, I think this kind of just pulls it all together into something that, like you said, holds up. And then like the swimsuits. Can we please talk about the swimsuits?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
The beginning when the girls are like going to the beach and they've got their little like pedal pushers and their little swing jackets, and then they start taking them off, and the white two-piece, and then the one with the like the green stripes with the orange around the waist, little orange stripes around the waist. I want that. If anyone sees that in any fashion, send it to me. And even Gidget, I love how they captured her personality through her wardrobe, through the suits that she wore, and they were like very fun but very young and very practical and not at all sexy. And I love how they embodied her character even through what she wore. And I love the guys too, like the crazy little group of guys. I think they didn't do that, like, you know how a lot of those movies, the extra guys, they always have some sort of like weird Boston accent for some reason. And I'm like, California, I don't understand. I feel like they felt right, kind of. There was one, oh, except for the British guy. The British guy was not so British. His accent was like Russian or something. Are you Hungarian? I don't know. And he kind of looked like Derek Huff a little bit. But other than that, other than him, I think the guys were like, because they were kind of this mix between trying to protect her, but then also like really impressed with her and with the way she did break the mold. I think it was fun to kind of watch them watch her in a way, in some instances. And I love the story between, oh, sorry, cat jumping on the bed. I love the story even of Kahuna and her and their relationship. I think was actually pretty special for a movie like this. So I loved it.
Yeah, it's funny that you talk about the wardrobe, because I also noticed like when they went to the luau, she was the only one in a full skirt. You know, everybody else is like in their like little hot tamale, like pedal pushers and bathing suits, and I'm just like, yeah, that would be me. I would have wore a full skirt to a luau on the beach. Of course I would.
Yeah, and heels.
All right, JL, what do you think? Did you hate it?
No, I love this movie. You know, I think probably just about anyone who has seen all the Gidget movies will agree this is the best of the Gidget movies. And like I said, for me, Sandra Dee will always be Gidget, which it always throws me off because there was another movie night where I was trying to remember like who was Gidget, and it was somebody said Sandra Dee, and it was throwing me off. And I think because there's been more than one actress
Like which one?
plays Gidget, but Sandra Dee is Gidget, and I love this movie so much because I relate so much to Gidget as a teen growing up and into my early 20s. I wasn't necessarily a tomboy, but I was the friend. Like I was friends with all the guys. The guys, I was the gopher. Like the guys needed something, I went and got it. And all my other friends were like the girls that the guys were into and wanted to date. Not that I never like had a boyfriend or anything, but I get that. Like, why am I the one that's so awkward that the boys like don't notice me? I was just like, that's me. I'm Gidget. So I just have always loved this movie because I was like, I totally relate to her. And this was another movie that early on when I discovered, classic or vintage films that I loved. This is probably the Gidget series is probably my favorite of the beach movie series like that have been done. I love it more than like the Beach Blanket Babylon and the ones with Frankie Valley and all that. Like those are great, but the Gidget series, like for me, these are like hands down my favorite. And every time I see these, I'm like, I just need to like throw away my wardrobe and buy all the like pedal pushers and little like crop tops and the swing jackets and all that because I just love the 60s beach attire for that the girls wore, and her swimsuits are like I love her swimsuits because I love that first beach scene. She's kind of wearing what would be considered a more frumpy swimsuit, and her friends are like, what are you wearing? Like nobody's ever going to notice you wearing something like that. And then her swimsuit sort of evolved, and the one that cracked me up was like the red one with the little sailor collar on it. Like practically who wears that to go swimming, especially in the ocean? But it just shows like how sweet and kind of innocent she is. But I was like, I need the black and white checkered and that pink floral one legit like right now for summer 2017. It needs to happen. But yeah, I like how real they were with the characters. I love her relationship with her parents. The dad is just like, he just doesn't know what to do with her, and all of a sudden he has this teenager who's going boy crazy, but she was always this really serious student and got really good grades and was a musician and just did all this stuff that her parents wanted her to do. Ugh. And then her mom is like, she's becoming a woman. And just that dynamic, I loved it. And I just relate to like that one crush that you're just never gonna get to notice you no matter how hard you try.
And I love that her mom was so open to talk about all this stuff with her. You know what I mean? It just, like I said, I think it just hit every single note perfectly of how to handle perhaps a teenage girl going through all this. Loved it. Real quick, just to catch everybody up, Vegan Vintage Geek has joined us. She says she adores Gidget, owns all the movies in the TV show and the book. Nicole is totally on board with Gidget style. Little gossip about how the three movies, which is Gidget, Gidget Goes Hawaiian, and Gidget Goes to Rome, which I actually do like all the movies. I love the TV series with Sally Field. I will consume anything Gidget. Like, if you give me a Gidget, like an Anna Green gift, I will consume it. I will have opinions, strong ones on it. But I will enjoy all of them, even though I am with JL and I believe Heather as well, when Sandra Dee is hands down my favorite. I think that physically she embodied the role as well as her personality as well. A lot of Nicole says she was the she was the girl hanging out with the Uber boy-driven girls. And Catherine says she too was seen as one of the boys. With Love Di came by. She says she's gearing down for the night, but wanted to stop by and say hello. So hello. Oversized Fidel and Stinky. Oh, Mary Heron says, I find it funny that Sandra Dee plays the oversized Fidel, and Stinky says she couldn't lift a surfboard and she lifts it over her head. Like, yeah, I can't right here. And I love it because it's, I mean, you're talking about just heading into the 60s. You haven't reached that moment where things have changed really all that much. So to see a very strong, young character, female character, it's just, I love it. I love it so much. How do you guys feel about the other two movies in the show?
I liked all of them. I felt like Gidget Goes to Rome was a little slow in parts. It was a little bit harder to kind of like be as invested, but I still love all the movies. And I think when I get confused with who Gidget is, like actress wise, because for some reason I go to Sally Field because she was the one in the TV series. That's kind of what throws me off sometimes because I watch the reruns of that a lot, and so you kind of forget there's other people, other actresses that play Gidget. But I love them all equally. I think they were all done well and in the spirit of summer surf movies.
To jump in real quick because, oh dang it, who was it? Dang it, where'd it go? I can't see in my chat, so I don't know who it was that, oh, there it is. Nicole says, honestly, I love every Gidget except for the one where she gets married. And what's up with the 80s series? Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
I'm sitting here trying to remember what that was. Like in my brain, I was thinking, wait, was there another?
Yeah, there was Gidget Gets Married, 1972 movie.
What was that?
Oh my God. You know what? I'm not even sure I've seen this one. I say I consume everything Gidget, but yeah, and wasn't it one of the guys from Little House on the Prairie, the blonde guy that married
Yep.
Laura Ingalls that was in the 80s?
Dean Butler? Is that his name? Dean
Yeah, I think so.
or was that was that his name?
Gidget.
Yeah, it's the new Gidget from where did it go? Something to 1986. Yep. How strange.
I've never seen Gidget Gets Married. Oh my God, I am very disappointed in myself. Bob Denver was a guest star on the Gidget series. Oh my God. And Jan and Dean. Of course, Jan and Dean weren't. Oh, I'm dating myself. See, I feel like JL can get away with being like, yeah, I know who Jan and Dean are. I love them because she's a California person. Right. So they're kind of born with just knowing like every single like surf band ever.
Yeah, and you would know Jan and Dean. They sound very similar to Beach Boys, and I think there was some like crossover songs between Jan and Dean and the Beach Boys. So you would.
That's so funny.
Recognize them if you heard it.
I didn't know this existed.
And apparently, there's a Gidget summer reunion. Catherine says she's seen just most of the Annette and Frankie stuff, which I do love the Annette and Frankie stuff. But like JL said, I agree that it's in a completely different, almost genre to me. Yeah, that's a question. Catherine says she did get compared to Gidget by her parents when she picked up surfing when my dad was stationed in San Diego in high school. Very cool.
down.
I have never surfed. Have either of you ever surfed?
I have done one time stand-up paddleboarding. I've never properly surfed.
Yeah, I'm too afraid of looking like what is it, the animal that sharks like to eat when you're on a surfboard? It looks like you're like a seal. And I'm very, very paranoid of things in the deep eating me.
Yeah. If it can be done at a lake, this landlocked girl probably didn't do it.
See, here's the other thing though. I hate lakes worse.
Oh, lakes are terrible, but
because you know that stuff that's in there stays in there, and then it gives birth to like, you know, toxic creatures. And
I was the girl that would go like tubing and like lay on the top of it and try like not to land in the water and like pull myself into the boat because like, they gross me out that much.
Because you know somebody weighed down a body and threw it in the water. You don't want to be that person to be like, oh, what's this, a log? And you're like, ah, it's an arm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Going on like around here on the beaches then.
I do a little bit better with oceans. Catherine says, main trick is to keep your balance. Basically, keep your center of gravity low. My center of gravity is up here.
I don't have a center of gravity.
I like paddleboarding though. I do find that very enjoyable, and you don't have to go out into the big surf to do it. You can do it close to shore. Calm.
I do like kayaking though, very much.
I do.
I think it's because you're in your own contained little capsule. Cajun Rose is here. Hello, Cajun Rose. And she said she loved watching the Gidget reruns, but she prefers the movies with Sandra Dee. And she always wondered why a beach dance party never broke out while we were at the beach. Okay. Speaking as someone from the Midwest, I have legitimately, for most of my life, actually thought that this is what California people do, that they go out to the beach and they have bonfires. And because it's not just the Gidget movies, they did it in 90210 too. Like everybody's always hanging out at the beach.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, play with the beach ball, have music, somebody busts out a guitar and people start dancing.
I don't know about this part. But yeah, we have bonfires, we have beach parties. Sometimes somebody brings, you know, some music to listen to, but we don't all dance, like jump up and like choreograph dance stuff. But yeah. Sorry.
My experience in Malibu have not been tiki parties.
It's going on during the 60s, I don't know, but I'm just saying from like the 80s to now, like we do the bonfires and, you know, with the music and all that stuff.
So if Heather and I ever make it out to Santa Cruz, will you promise us that you'll take us to a beach party and that we will actually choreograph a dance number to do?
Yes.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. All right. Sorry, my brain is very scattered today. I can't remember who it was. Someone was saying they had a hard time finding the movie. I found it, I rented it on Amazon. And here's a trick. Sorry, apparently I have bra strap issues today. I am just a mess. But here's the thing. If you go on Amazon, they're doing this thing now where they just show you originally, like, here's the price to rent the HD version of it. Well, if you want to be a cheapskate like somebody with pink hair, you click on the more options, and then it'll show you the standard version you can get for like $2.
$2.99 too.
$2.99. Yeah, saves $1. I know. Who doesn't want a moondoggie of their own?
Although I will say, it's cute as Moondoggie is, I would take the big kahuna any day of the week.
It's Uncle Ben. How could you not love Uncle Ben?
Kahuna, just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I had this whole thing where we were gonna be like, ooh, which Gidget do you want? But apparently nobody in the world wants Deborah Walley, which I feel bad for, or Cindy Carroll. Although they did fine jobs. Fine jobs.
Well done, ladies.
Well done. Well done. You can't be faulted for not being Sandra Dee.
Here's the thing. Sandra Dee is them in the Tammy movies. So it was Debbie Reynolds does Tammy and the Bachelor, and then Sandra Dee takes over the role, and everybody's like, bring back Debbie Reynolds. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Girls got a point. Vegan Vintage Geek says in the Gidget documentary, they even interviewed the real Gidget, and she said, thanks to the 1980s TV show, she did for a short time, became a travel agent since Gidget in the TV show was a travel agent. She also had this other little tidbit in here. She's such a good, that they had, in the TV show, the Sally Fields version, they featured a few scenes from the original movie in the opening credits, and a few of the actors and actresses did have parts in the TV show. And and I could be talking out the other end of my body, but I believe Cliff Richards made an appearance in the TV show as well, but I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's...
He made an appearance in every TV show. Kind of love it.
Nice. All right. So next question is, what is everybody's favorite scene of this movie? Like when they think Gidget, what comes to mind? People in the comments, you're up first. Thought I'd give the girls a break there. Honestly, I think for me, it's the whole, it's two things really. It's her running over those two Kim Novaks laying on the beach when she goes to get the hot dogs. I don't know why, but that just like, because she's like kicking sand and doesn't care, and she's all enthusiastic. And now, of course, I can see Jail doing that now. It warms my heart. But then also that scene where her and Moondoggie are in the little restaurant, and she's like, well, what? No, this plan is not going to work. You're supposed to be getting jealous, not the one faking. And them at the luau, like everything, like up to the point where he kisses her at the luau, and they're like, smoochy, smoochy, smooch, smooch. That's probably my favorite scenes. And I feel like that's such a girly scene to love, but I just remember, like, do you guys ever experience in some like romance movies that you watch, like when the lead actors do the smoochy smoochy, like you feel like a little butterfly in your stomach or something? Am I, okay, yeah. Maybe it's just, okay. It's okay if it's just you. It's okay. I get that with this movie every single time, and there's not a lot of movies, Princess Bride is one of them, that continuously do that. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, you know, it's just that moment, because I feel like whoever you are, whether you were a tomboy or not, there is a part of Gidget that you can relate to. And for me, it was always, you know, like, hello, I'm over here, and like not really being the one that people were looking at. And you see that in Gidget, and then Gidget's like, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to be the best gosh darn surfer I'm going to be. And then when she decides, like, I really like this guy, and instead of being like, boo-hoo, he doesn't seem to like me back, she's like, I'm going to hatch a plan and see how this works out. And I love that approach of, especially because her mother said it's up to the boy. I think it was. And she was like, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to go ahead and make it up to the girl. And I'm like, right on, right on. I don't know, you guys. I just think she's such a beautiful role model for younger teen girls, to even to this day.
I agree. Yeah, I think my scene that I love kind of ties in with that point is because I love her relationship with her mom a whole lot, because they do talk about things, but then also her mom is this conventional mom, but yeah, she's still open to like listening, and like I love it when she's on the bed like practicing her surfing, and her mom like walks in and you think she's going to be angry with her because she's sick and she's supposed to be in bed, but she just laughs with the girls. And I think that like those moments with the mom to me are really kind of important in like developing her confidence. But then also the whole sampler moment when, what does the sampler say? It's like, a real woman brings out the best in a man. And you think that it's going to go one way with that playing, because it plays a role in the story, but it doesn't play a role with Moondoggie at all. Because she's actually ends up bringing out the best in Big Kahuna as a friend. And so I like that they didn't take it to like this obvious conclusion to where, yeah, this man comes and rescues her and she brings out the best in him. But no, it's through a friendship that rings true to her, because she has like this moment where she realizes, oh, that's what I've done, but it has nothing to do with romance. And I love that they didn't make it about that. So those little moments between her and her mom are some of my favorites. And then I love it when she's talking to Stinky, like that whole moment. And what is that when she's in like the blue like parka with the hood? Like when I like,
okay, I need all those jackets, by the way. I'm making them.
That blue parka, when I think of Gidget, that's the image that instantly pops into my mind, is her running down the steps like with her money ready to buy her board. And that's what I think that's like the cutest moment to me, because she's so excited to like learn something new.
Nice. And while Jail is thinking, and I'm struggling with my shirt, the comments, Mary Vintage Camper Gal says, the anticipation of Moondog, the relationship growth. Catherine says she sometimes cries as well, depending on the movie. And Miss Random Notes, hello, he snuck in on us. I love it. Did you know that James Darren Moondoggie in real life has a son named Jim Moret, who's a reporter in the show Inside Edition?
Yep, he sure does.
Yeah, did not know that. VVG, who is how we're going to refer to Vegan Vintage Geek, VVG. She likes how she influenced the Big Huna and gave him the confidence and okay to change his life and have a goal, not feel bad for growing up. That's great. It's so great. Cajun Rose says she didn't let social conventions dictate how she lived and faced life. And Yolanda, hey girl, says she would have gone after Big Kahuna too, Jail. You guys are going to have to duke it out. And Nicole says she also loves how Moondoggie fights Kahuna when thinking he hooked up with Gidget. And with that, Jail, you are up.
I feel like there's a couple moments of my favorite parts, because again, I'm like, that was me. And it's basically kind of like the beach scene where she's kind of becoming their mascot, and she's like, oh, I'll go and get that for you, and don't worry, and you guys just stay here, because that was me, like when I was with a group and I was with the guys. I'm like, I'll get you this, I'll get you that, thinking like this is going to make some sort of an impression on them, but really you're just sort of like not seen as the other girls that they're into. You're the mascot. And so I was just like, yeah, that was pretty much like the little puppy, like, I'll do it for you, no problem, just give me attention. And then the scene where she and Big Kahuna go to the beach shack down the road, because she's getting herself in way over her head and she knows it. Not that I've ever done that in my life, ever. But she's with someone who realizes, like, that, this is, she doesn't know what she's doing, and she doesn't know what she's, asking to be done. Not that I've ever had that happen to me in my entire life. So it's just,
well, and you know what though? I mean, that too is just this beautiful commentary on somebody wiser realizing the situation. I don't know. I think it's a great oh, now I can't think of the words. Oh God, words are so hard for me tonight. It's a great example of how men should behave. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I love that they didn't turn him into, a lecher or somebody who was trying to take advantage of her. It was like this moment of realization, and I think it was a really. I can't say enough good things about this movie. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Jael. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my favorites, but I also sort of adore when her dad just like freaks out, and he's just like, I have to like lock you in your room for the rest of your life, and control your every move. That's what I'll do. It's just funny, and it's not done in a like sort of it's overbearing or like sexist way. It's just generally like this dad who cannot come to terms with the fact that his daughter is not a little girl, mm-hmm. and doesn't want a little girl anymore. And it's sort of like, it's done in a very sweet and innocent way, which I also appreciate. It's not like this sort of like, I'm the dad and you're going to date who I want to date kind of a thing. And, and I think he receives it with, love and intention that he has behind it, because he's just as lost and confused about what's happening to her as he is. So I kind of appreciate that they sort of, even though these are like serious things that happen growing up in all families, they, do it in a way that's respectful instead of scary, I guess you could say.
Elizabeth Pierce, hello, says her favorite part was when the friend was trying to shaking the bed and she practiced surfing. And Catherine and Yolanda both said very similar to their dads as well. So, usually I do the horrible thing where I say, let's recast this movie, toss out Sandra Dee and put somebody else in. But I feel like history has already done that for us. So instead, I'm going to say if they rebooted the movie into using people of this era, who do you think would play Gidget? And who would you cast as, good Lord, I don't even think before I say these things either, so I make it just as hard on myself. Who would you, Moondoggie, Kahuna, and Sandra Dee? Or Gidget? See? They're interchangeable to me. While you guys are thinking, I'm going to kind of, unless somebody wants to volunteer for this right away, I will talk thoughts out loud while giving you guys a chance to think, because I always feel, oh, I feel like Jael's going to have something really good since she can't. Was it you that did the 90210?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly,
as I thought you were going to do that to us, I sort of started thinking about, it was not Sandra Dee. I was going to be like, Sandra Dee was a non-negotiable, like she could not be recast. But if we want to recast it with modern day characters, I have like a few in my head. I don't know if they all necessarily work perfectly age-wise, but if you sort of like pick them out in different parts of their career, I think it could be kind of fun. So I think for Gidget, I think Zendaya would be really cute. If you don't know the current Disney casting characters, you may not know who this is, or Zendaya, I think it's pronounced Zendaya. I think she's a really cute option for Gidget. She has that sort of like, she's young and I just think like if you kind of look up the stuff that she's on Disney, like that would be really good because one of her TV shows that she does for Disney has kind of like that like innocent coming of age but strong female character. So I think that would work. I thought for Moondoggy, what's his name? Shoot, now I can't remember his name. The Gosling, what's his name?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Okay. So
You know what? It's so funny because Catherine said the same thing.
That's who I was thinking. Okay, I'll come up with somebody different.
And then I thought that Hugh Jackman would be a good Big Kahuna.
Ooh. I like that.
Laugh at who I think should be Big Kahuna.
I actually like that.
Together in the same movie necessarily, but I think individually they would work like for those characters.
Okay. I'm just gonna put this out. I know it's kind of weird, but I like it. And because I've been dreaming of him a lot lately. So let's just say I don't want to wake up in the morning. Tom Hiddleston as Kahuna.
Okay.
Loki. That man can pull anything off. And take anything off as well. Ooh, did I just say that out loud? I know it's kind of a, you know, you would guess it this way choice, but I kind of like Jennifer Lawrence as Gidget. I know that she's a little bit more mature, not mature, but like not as sweet and innocent, but I do feel like she plays strong women obviously really, really well. She has that athletic side to her. Obviously she's a little too old at this point, so I would like maybe a little bit of a younger version of Jennifer Lawrence. I think would be a perfect fit because I love her goofy sense of humor and I absolutely adore her. For Moondoggy, I am really stuck. I might need a minute for Moondoggy. Yeah. Because I would want, I'm trying to think of somebody who, because Ryan Gosling would have been perfect because especially the way that he danced in La La Land. Oh, La La Land. So good. If you haven't seen it, right?
Not my fave.
No?
Mm-mm. Unimpressed.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it was just overhyped for me by the time I saw it.
That could be. All right, these are actors, 14 actors who are great dancers, and I'm going to tell you if I rule them out. Channing Tatum, absolutely not. Can't stand the man. I'm going to piss people off of that one.
No.
Chris Messina, no. Donald Faison from Scrubs. Tom Hiddleston's a good dancer. Kevin Bacon, Christopher Walken, Alfonso Ribeiro, Vin Diesel, Columbus Short, Hugh Jackman, Mads Mikkelsen. Oh, I think that's who I might pick. Oh, no, take it all back. I'm just going to go with Sam Rockwell. I know the age probably isn't. No, I take it all back. I take everything back I said for Moondoggy. This is it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh,
boom!
Because I have a backup.
A good one.
Who I have written down. But I have a backup.
All right, Heather, what you got, girl?
Now that I have no options left.
That is the blessing and the curse of going last.
You know, it's okay. I had a couple. Okay, so Gidget. I have two, and I can't quite decide because one of them has, like, on one hand, I think Mila Kunis would be really an adorable, like, her younger self would be so adorable because she had just that, like, kind of spunky, but like still a little bit bad-a, but still innocent kind of vibe about her. Especially during like that 70s show era. So Mila Kunis or a younger version again of Kristen Bell, I think.
Yes,
would be like, I can so see her like doing Gidget so well. So that's my Gidget options. Moondoggy, I'm gonna say Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
You got the singing, you've got a little bit of the humor, but still that like sweetness there. So since you've all taken my other options, going Timberlake. And for Kahuna, it could be funny to do The Rock.
no, oh,
But
especially after Moana.
Right, but who I initially thought of was Robert Downey Jr. Because he's that older, but kind of, so Hugh Jackman, when you said that, I thought, nah.
I like it. All right, votes in the comments, which what cast you would like to see. We've got some vintage vanity with the fresh roots. Yeah, girl. Miss Random Note says Keanu Reeves as Kahuna. I could see that, especially after his, what was the movie he did with Patrick Swayze? Point Break. Kirsten Dunst as Gidget, or maybe Reese Witherspoon. Thinks Yolanda out loud. Mary says, nope, can't recast it. Nope, don't ruin it. Catherine said you need an awkward girl for sure for Gidget. Oh, Nicole says maybe Julianne Hough.
And then Derek could be the guy that's British in the background. It all
comes together. Full circle. Oh God. But she said because of remember Grease Live. John Hamm for the Mad Men as the dad, from Mad Men as the dad. John Hamm, yummy, not dad material to me. Well, you know what? I feel like when you get to a certain age, you know, dad material isn't a bad material. Oh, that just sounds wrong. I'm going to take it back. Because I guess, he could sing and dance too. Cajun Rose says Sandra Bullock as Gidget. Catherine's got on the JGL train. She said she also thought of The Rock too. So funny. And Random Note says the actress from the film Prom. I can't think of her name as Gidget.
I don't know who that is.
Let me see. Prom. I gotta Google it now. Prom movie. Is it a movie? Prom.
I was even thinking like a younger Emma Stone.
Whoa! Sorry, cats. Starring Amy Teagarden.
I don't know who that is.
I'm assuming that's who, because she's listed first. But I know she's very cute. She was in Friday Night Lights and Starcross. I think that's who she's talking about.
The daughter.
Yes. Attack of the Cattail. Oh yeah. You should see her poor little face. She's been she's an outdoor cat, and she is the scourge of the neighborhood chipmunks. But I think she got in a fight with the cat next door, and her poor face is just I call it her summer face, because by winter her face is all like fixed up, but she hates me because I'm always like with hydrogen peroxide, like dabbing at her sores. Nicole says Danielle Campbell, maybe. I'm not sure who that is. Let's Google her. VVG says Zac Efron as Moondoggy. I totally see that. Yeah. We're gonna So we've already gotten the question of what type of movie do we want to go for next month? Next month is August, so we're in the heat of summer.
Paul Newman. Just kidding.
We could go for Paul Newman movie.
Yeah.
They're in that are free.
Oh, she's in the originals. Danielle something or another. It's so. Yeah, I feel like I'm. This is this. If anybody's wonder how you start to feel old, this is it. When you're like, who's this youngin' that Perez Hilton's talking about? It's not a Kardashian. I don't know what it is. I hate those Kardashians. See, JL stays hip and young too because she's got kids. So.
No, well, and because basically, if I have insomnia, I will watch TV to fall asleep. And there have been a few times where I have put something on and then woke up in the middle of the night and something very scary was on the channel in the wee hours. So I have found that the safest road to take when falling asleep in front of the TV is to put on the Disney Channel, because they don't put on the scary things in the wee hours of the morning that make you think that someone in your house is being murdered.
Oh God, yeah, there's nothing worse than falling asleep with the TV on and having somebody on the TV either scream or bang on something, because you wake up and you're like, oh my God.
The door knocks or like the phone rings and you're like,
Oh.
So I know all of the new Disney starlets. And another good one, I think, for Gidget would be Debbie Ryan, who is on a TV show called Jessie on the Disney Channel XD, which is supposed to be for like the tween Disney. But she's very funny and she's very
Okay.
watch the Disney Channel, you won't know.
It seems like in the comments, next month is a Western.
ooh, I just watched a Roy Rogers movie.
But somebody also is, oh yeah, Yolanda was throwing out Mae West. So we will put up on our Facebook group, Classy Chicks Vintage Flicks, what the movie will be for, or our little thing for movie suggestions. So we will look for, Miss Margaret's already saying, high noon! So we will be looking for Western. We have not done a Western. So we will be looking for your Western suggestions up on that page. And then we will do the poll again, and whatever one gets the most votes, that will be the movie for the month. And we are trying real hard to get back on the schedule of the second Wednesday of every month. So next month, we should be that second Wednesday of the month. But write it in pencil.
Yeah.
Because it's us. It's us, y'all. So with that, we are a little bit after. So thank you guys so much for coming out and being a part of Class Chicks Vintage Flicks. Little horsies in the comments. God, I wish these comments would carry over, because I know there's a bunch that I always miss when we're doing this. Oh, and Nicole says she hasn't watched any Westerns. She better start. I remember, like, when I was little, being at my grandma's, and she only had like a couple channels, and the Lone Ranger was always, it was when I missed that they used to play all the old shows. It was one of my favorite shows. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. If you are missing us in between movie chats, be sure to follow all of us on our social medias. You can find Heather as How to Be Fancy just about everywhere. You can find JL as Modern Retro Gal. And you can find myself as a Vintage Vanity. And yeah, you know what? It said I brought the balls back. They're not Christmas balls, but they're balls.
Balls.
They're tiki balls. Hawaii balls. All right, so guys, so much for coming out. We will see you all next month in Late Night Disney Channel, Mickey Mouse Club, and the old black and white stuff. Heather. Hugs. Love this chat. Love this movie. Yay. All right, guys. We will see you all next month. And this is the hardest part of these chats for me. Is not just starting them, is ending them. And I'm the same way on the telephone. I never like to hang up because I feel like every time it's rude. So I feel like I need some like, haha, tickle you and, you know, it's a hang up or something.
On that note.
Bye. All right, guys, have a great night, and be sure to head over to our Facebook page and make those movie Western suggestions for next month, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.